has never wished to have the power to lose 10 pounds overnight without having to go to the gym or even go on a diet? What you may not know is that some clothes have that power. That's why in today's video, I brought 10 pieces that are in fashion for fall 2025 and winter 2026, and that will not only make you look much more beautiful and stylish, but also 10 pounds slimmer. Want to know which ones? Come with me! The first trend I recommend for those who want to look slimmer is straight-leg jeans. Straight-leg jeans have already been in style for quite some time. They appeared little by little, along with other models that were very successful. But if you want to look slimmer, this one is without a doubt the main recommendation. That's because jeans that are a little more tapered around the ankle will make the hips, waist, and belly look much bigger. So, when you choose, for example, skinny jeans, they make the central part of your body look much larger. But when you choose straight leg jeans, you get balance everything the same size, from top to bottom. This way, the focus is no longer on your belly and hips, and you can spread this attention throughout the whole look. One tip about straight leg jeans is that they should preferably be a bit darker. Of course, this varies from taste to taste, but if you choose a black, dark gray, or navy blue model, all these shades will bring a slimming effect. So, naturally, they will also make you look slimmer. Obviously, the waistband has to be either high or mid-rise. Forget about low-rise, because low-rise jeans do not flatter practically anyone. I would say you'd need a runway model body to look good in low-rise. So let's leave low-rise aside and also avoid pockets, especially those that are too big and bulky. Avoid cargo jeans or those that come with details on the pockets, whether in the front or the back, some drawing, some application, some embroidery. We want a piece as neutral as possible and in this straight format so we can elongate the silhouette and not draw attention to the hip and belly area, which are usually the areas that bother most women and give the effect of looking bigger or heavier. So, a basic simple tip: jeans are a piece everyone should have in their wardrobe. The second trend you should follow to look at least 10 pounds slimmer is structured dresses. Generally, we like to wear a loose dress because it brings comfort, but it's undeniable. Dresses that are more structured and fitted at the waist will give the body that hourglass shape, hyper-feminine, that most women love. We had a wide variety of trends and will continue to have them for 2026. Here, you can include variations such as basic waist, side volume, or the milkmaid dress. They all usually have something in common: a well-structured waist. It can come with elastic at the back, which brings a lot of comfort but sometimes takes away a bit of the structure, or with lace-up ties at the back, similar to a corset. This lacing will make you stand with better posture, which will naturally make you look slimmer and will also slim down your waistline. And you're mistaken if you think it will only look good on very young or very skinny girls. This dress looks good on any woman, and it definitely has a more youthful vibe. It rejuvenates. It creates an ultra-feminine, super delicate atmosphere. It matches perfectly with warmer seasons, but it can also be adapted for colder ones. It's a dress that I particularly think looks stunning on plus-size women because it enhances the bust. Usually, at the bust area, it comes with a ruched fabric, and this often makes it unnecessary to even wear lingerie underneath, which means comfort. There are several models with a great variety in the sleeve area. You'll find everything from puff sleeves to short sleeves. Some come with straps, others with bows on top of the straps, which is also a strong trend for 2026. So, all these dresses that have this waist part that mimics a corset will bring you structure and will slim you down. The skirt needs to be flared, okay girls? So don't go for a skirt that's too tight to the body, otherwise you won't get this effect. And of course, the length should preferably be midi, because this length will also help with the slimming effect. If you wear a very short dress, even if it has that corset vibe, it can make you look childish and cut your silhouette. And that's not what we want here. We want body enhancement, making you look not only slimmer, but also more feminine, more delicate, and more youthful. The third trend for summer 2026 that will help you look slimmer is wearing an animal print shirt or blouse, especially when paired with a jacket or blazer. The idea here is to draw attention to the upper part of your body, and animal print is an expert at doing just that. Whether it's a fabric that mimics leopard, snakeskin, cowhide, as we've seen recently, or even zebra, which I find extremely elegant and an excellent entry point into the world of animal print for those who have never worn it before. Any of these will draw the eye to that area. So what you should do is choose a blouse with animal print. Could it be a ruffled blouse? Sure. But ideally, since we're talking about a piece that will be layered with a jacket, it's better to choose a simple blouse. And that's what I find super interesting. This is a very accessible, very practical trend. In any online store, you'll find a t-shirt with an animal print design. And here's what you'll do. Wear that t-shirt and layer a jacket over it. The jacket creates a vertical cut, so when you wear it, only a small section of the animal print shows in the center. This makes you look slimmer. It's a small trick, a simple detail, but it shifts attention upward. In other words, if what makes you feel uncomfortable is, for example, your hips, you'll already be drawing attention upward. And with the jacket, you'll achieve this amazing effect of slimming that area even more. It's simple, practical, and women of any age can wear it. If you don't like animal print, can you replace it with another pattern? Yes, of course you can. But animal print is very timeless. It truly draws attention, and it's part of the fall 2025 and winter 2026 trends. So, what better way to include it in your wardrobe? I usually recommend leopard print for people who already have a wardrobe leaning toward browns, beige, or cream. Snakeskin for those whose wardrobe leans toward gray or white, not as contrasting as black and white. And, of course, you can also choose zebra if you prefer a wardrobe with more contrast. Lots of black and white zebra works perfectly, looking extremely sophisticated, and it fits right into this kind of look. In other words, there's something for every taste. Number 4. Among the trends that will make you look slimmer is the color brown. A very common mistake people make is clinging to that black and white wardrobe. But if you're plus size, if you're someone who wants to look slimmer, black and white will probably work against you. Here's what happens. There's too much contrast. If you wear black pants and a white top, suddenly your upper body looks much larger than your lower body. You lose balance. If you do the opposite, a black top and white pants, the same thing happens. This black and white contrast doesn't flatter women who want to look slimmer. What we're going to do instead is tone that down by moving toward brown. Brown is one of the major colors of 2026, especially coffee brown, chocolate brown, and cocoa brown. All of these tones can be added to your wardrobe. They replace black and pair beautifully with shades like white, cream, off-white, and beige. This way, we reduce contrast because when we're aiming to look slimmer, we need to create an outfit with little color variation. But not everyone wants to go fully monochromatic, meaning everything in one color. By combining similar shades of brown, you can achieve that slimming effect. It's a simple trick. You can also take advantage of the fact that this color is very trendy. You'll find plenty of pants, tops, dresses, and skirts in brown tones. And by applying the other tips I've already shared, you can amplify the effect even more. Brown is also an excellent color for those who want to look younger. That's because black can often feel heavy. On some people, black looks stunning. On others, it can be aging. In this case, swapping your traditional black pieces for brown ones will also rejuvenate you. In other words, you'll achieve all the effects you want, looking younger, looking slimmer, all by making simple color swaps in your wardrobe. Next time you try on clothes in a store, test it out. Grab a black and white combo and a brown and cream or beige combo. Try both. You can even snap a picture in the fitting room. You'll see the effect instantly. Number 5 is skirts. Skirts also play a very important role when we talk about the slimming effect. And here, in this case, I recommend flared skirts, circle skirts, skirts where the bottom part, the hem, is wider than your waist. Because what this will create is an effect, an optical illusion that will make you look slimmer. You know when you buy that skirt that is very tight, very fitted? You know that pencil skirt that shows the tummy, whether from the front or the side? Well, that skirt will not flatter you. In fact, that type of skirt flatters almost no one. You would really need to have a strong body, flat stomach, to look very good in that skirt. Otherwise, you'll probably feel uncomfortable. To solve this problem, we are going to use a circle skirt. What the circle skirt or flared skirt does is that it creates volume at the bottom. That's why it needs to be made of a slightly stiffer, more structured fabric. That doesn't mean it won't work with lighter fabric. It's just that with a very light, very flowy fabric, this skirt will fall flat. It will weigh down. So, it will still mark your stomach, it will still mark your thighs. Here, we need a fabric that is a bit more structured, a little sturdier, that will make this skirt stand out more and That way, we can achieve the effect we are looking for. This is a very typical skirt. It really has that 1950s vibe. So, you can search for 1950 skirt as a reference to get an idea of what we're aiming for. Another option is to wear a petticoat, bringing extra volume to the bottom part of this skirt. It doesn't need to be super voluminous or extremely structured under the skirt. Otherwise, it will look like a costume, unless you are a creative style person who likes to dress in a more vintage way. In that case, that's fine, but if that's not your style, sometimes a simple petticoat, okay girls? Made of tulle, something very basic and not too noticeable, will already create the perfect effect of adding volume to this skirt and enhancing your look. This is a simple tip, but you need to be careful with the length. I always recommend below the knee up to the midi length. You can also choose a long skirt that goes down to the feet, but that may not always be the best option as it can weigh down your look. So, length below the knee up to midi, a little above the ankle, usually flatters all women. When in doubt, always buy the longer skirt, because if it's too long, you can take it to a tailor and shorten it, make the hem, and adjust the length. If you buy a skirt that is too short, like one above the knee, for example, what will happen is that you won't be able to lengthen it. So, when in doubt, always think, how will I be able to adjust this garment? That way, you won't lose the piece. As you know, here on the channel, I always give tips for you to have pieces that you can wear throughout your whole life. So don't waste money on a piece that you'll later get rid of because you didn't like it when wearing it on your body. Number 6. Among the trends for fall 2025 and winter 2026 that will make you look slimmer are peplum blouses. This type of blouse will make you super comfortable. It's a blouse that I always joke about here on the channel. It's the blouse for you to wear at that family lunch, at that end of year party. You know those parties where you want to eat a lot and not worry? Well, this is the blouse you'll wear because it has a ruffle around the waist area that will make your tummy disappear. Guys, this blouse is magic. It's simply amazing. And within the 2026 trends, the peplum will appear in several items. So, we won't just have blouses, we'll have dresses, blazers, jackets, all with this ruffle. You will definitely find a blouse in this style at a thrift store. It's a blouse that was very popular and is now coming back into fashion. It appeared a little in recent years, but I believe that in 2026, it will be a big hit, along with the twee trend that I will bring here on the channel. It's a piece that you can adapt to your style, so you'll find it sleeveless, with sleeves, puff sleeves, straight sleeves, more structured fabric or less structured fabric. You'll definitely find a piece like this that makes you happy, that you look at and really like the style of. What I recommend is that you try it on because you don't want to end up with a piece that is too tight, and often, since the bottom part is loose, some people end up choosing a size that makes the top part too tight. We need a piece that fits your body. So, in the top part here, before the ruffle, it needs to be fitted but not tight. And then, in the ruffle part, looser. One tip is that you can even take one of the images I'm showing you and bring it to your tailor and ask them to make you a custom-made piece. Without a doubt, this is a piece that will slim you down, that will even make you look more modern because it has a very modern cut and is also super trendy. So why not take advantage and combine all of this in your wardrobe? And tell me, what is that style trick you use to look slimmer? I want to know. And of course, the other subscribers also want to know. You know that the video doesn't end when it ends. In the comments, you exchange lots of tips and I love that. And you also know that you help me a lot by leaving those magic words, which today are, look slimmer. By writing these simple words, you help me keep bringing videos to you every day. So, I'm counting on your help. Let's continue with the video. Number 7 to help you look slimmer is the third piece. Here, I bring a wide variety of pieces that you can use, such as more fitted blazers and longer coats. Depending on where you live and how cold it gets, one or the other will suit you better. The interesting thing here is that this third piece creates a vertical line effect because a big problem we have is that horizontal lines, or lines lying flat, make you appear larger. So, if you have a little tummy and wear something horizontal, you will naturally appear a bit chubbier. The opposite also works. If you wear something cut vertically, you will appear slimmer. Remember earlier when I gave the tip about wearing an animal print blouse with a jacket? Here, we'll use that tip but with a fitted blazer or a long coat. A fitted blazer can be worn either open or closed. When it's open, it will create this vertical line effect, naturally making you look slimmer. When it's closed, because of its more fitted shape, it will create an hourglass effect, bust larger, waist smaller, and hips fuller. This body type is very sensual, and most women love it. Additionally, this type of blazer can be worn with more casual pieces, such as jeans, including the straight-leg jeans I mentioned earlier. In other words, you can create casual, basic, everyday looks that still have a slimming effect. It's also a perfect look for the workplace. In this case, you could pair it, for example, with tailored pants. Long coats create the same effect, but even more pronounced. If you live in a colder region or want to add this piece to your wardrobe, know that it's excellent for creating a slimming effect. Especially if you're not happy with your hips or thighs, a long coat can create a vertical line that shows only the central part of your body. You'll see only a central part of your blouse and only a central part of your pants or skirt. This naturally makes you look slimmer and also elongates your silhouette, making you appear taller. One tip for longer coats is to match their length with the length of the pieces you usually wear. So, if you wear skirts, buy a coat that ends along with the skirt or dress. If you wear pants, you have a bit more flexibility. Ideally, all hems should be roughly aligned. This creates a more balanced look, one that really elongates and slims you. Long coats are always super elegant and, of course, sophisticated, so choose a color that matches your color palette and harmonizes with both your beauty and your wardrobe. Number 8. Among the trends that make you look slimmer is the raw denim set. Denim sets are, without a doubt, one of the biggest trends right now. You'll see photos and videos of this type of piece all over social media. It's appearing very strongly. The interesting thing is that the combination of several elements in this denim set makes you look much slimmer, starting with the color. Usually, this denim comes as raw denim, meaning no special washes, no details, no embellishments, no embroidery. This allows us to create that monochromatic look I mentioned earlier. Just by wearing a monochromatic look, you'll appear slimmer and taller. But that's not all. This denim set is also matte, which is ideal for women who want to look slimmer. Usually, when you wear a shiny piece, for example something satin, it makes you look bigger, even a bit chubbier. So, ideally, you should always choose something more matte, without shine. And of course, this denim set fulfills this function because it's matte and naturally makes you look slimmer. Also, we're talking about very dark denim here. Usually, this set doesn't come in light denim, it comes in very dark denim. So right away, we achieve that slimming effect. It's not black denim, so we avoid a stark contrast. It's a medium to dark tone, which gives the same effect as the brown I mentioned earlier. We replace black with a slightly lighter tone. It works great both for fuller women and for more mature women. So, if you're a mature woman, if you have white hair, if you're around 60 or older, this set will look excellent. Moreover, it's a fashionable and very modern piece. Naturally, it makes you look younger. It's also a hit piece, fun, bold, modern, and youthful. And of course, you can wear the pieces separately. You could choose the pants from this set as straight-leg jeans, as I mentioned in the first item. Then, for the top, you could choose a more fitted denim top. This way, you can perfectly coordinate all the items I've discussed in this top 10. You'll have a wide variety of combinations and looks you can create from just these two pieces. Excellent! This is definitely one of the main pieces I recommend for investing in 2026 fashion, especially if you want to look slimmer. And if you're enjoying this video, you'll love all the other videos on the channel because we post every day, always talking about fashion, beauty, and tips. This video was even requested by one of our subscribers, and of course, I always make it with love for you. So go ahead, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. That way, YouTube will notify you every day when a new video made for you is released. While you subscribe or check your subscription, we'll continue with the video. Number 9 is bohemian blouses, especially those that feature more fluid fabrics and, of course, ruffles. The trick here is in the details. So, the choice of blouse and the color of the blouse, together with the pants or skirt, will make all the difference. I especially recommend combining these blouses in a slightly darker tone with pants, particularly the straight-leg jeans I mentioned earlier. This blouse is very trendy within current fashion, and it is romantic in just the right measure, casual in just the right measure. Since we are talking about a piece with ruffles, it will disguise any little belly. So, if you are a woman who, for example, doesn't like her stomach, it's easy to hide it with this blouse. Another detail is that it also helps to disguise the arms because, in the case of these blouses with sleeves, the ruffles and volume also hide the arms very well, but you need to be careful with colors, as I already mentioned, especially if you don't want to look bigger. That's why you should avoid very light colors and shiny fabrics. Here, we are not talking about a stiff, opaque fabric. A stiff, opaque fabric would favor you. It needs to have some softness, but preferably choose slightly darker colors. It can be black, navy blue, coffee brown, or burgundy. It looks wonderful and excellent. This is also one of the strongest trends for fall 2025 and winter 2026, and it will certainly remain popular as boho continues to be trending. A tip: if you want to elongate your silhouette even more, is to combine this blouse with a third piece. Here we can use a kimono, a jacket, or a long coat. Anything goes to further slim this piece while still bringing comfort. If you are someone who values comfort a lot, this blouse is for you, perhaps even more than the pieplan blouse we talked about earlier. It is a strong trend and a trend that can be combined with other pieces I mentioned earlier. You can wear it with a denim set, with straight leg jeans, and also with other fashion accessories. You can combine it with an interesting bag with a more boho vibe and with a more interesting shoe. So, if you naturally like this more bohemian trend, you will definitely match perfectly with this piece that, in addition to being modern and interesting, also brings that modern rich look and will make you look slimmer. Number 10. Among the pieces that make you look slimmer is an accessory: belts. Belts naturally make you look slimmer because they define the waist, but you need to be careful. In current fashion, all belts are trendy, especially larger, more statement belts. But here we need to be a bit cautious. I recommend belts that complement the colors of your outfit, but are not too contrasting. So, no white belt on a black dress, nor a black belt on a white dress. Here, we want something softer and more subtle. You can use these pieces to cinch dresses. In this way, a dress that is too loose or open will become more fitted. You can also use it with pants paired with a blouse to create a certain effect. As you can see from the photos, there are plenty of options. My tip is: always experiment, and what you can do is always use reference images. That's why I bring many images in my videos, because in this way you can get inspired, look, and say, oh, I have pants like this, I have a blouse like this. I can combine them, add a belt, and it will make me look even more beautiful. The belt trend is here to stay. It is already very popular. So just get this accessory, and I always recommend stopping by a thrift store near your house, because belts are pieces many people get rid of, so you will always find a different, interesting belt. The idea here is that this piece blends a bit into your wardrobe, so even though this statement belt is trendy, avoid it if it draws attention to an area you don't want highlighted. If it draws attention to an area you want highlighted, then in this case, it's perfect. The idea is always to play with where we want to draw attention and where we want to hide. But especially for women who have many loose dresses in their wardrobe and don't know what to do with them, a belt will solve the problem. In addition to being super trendy in 2025 and 2026. And of course, these are not the only pieces in fashion. That's why I made a video with over 50 pieces that are trendy for 2025 and 2026. Want to know which ones? Just click on the video appearing on your screen.